Time to reveal a new washing machine you guys didn't know about that I got into my collection ages ago. Should we see what this is? And you're watching Florence Ballard A3060 on film. No. Nah. Nope. Nope. Nah, definitely not. I wonder what that was. D. I wonder what that is.
Ooh, what's this, I wonder?
Bit of a different view to a normal machine, isn't it? I wonder what that was. And Mum's coming in now. Little mum. So, you might have gathered something by the way I opened the drum on that. Open the drum. What machine do you open a drum on? Not that one, you don't. That's Mum walking. Shall have a little look. What does that look like to you? Yes, guys. This is the new machine I have in my collection that no one knew about, really. A few people knew. In fact, set it back. I did hint about it somewhere. You might recognise this machine from somewhere. Yes, this was given to me by one of the most amazing people I've met in this wash community, Dorian. Hooverlux Restorations, Hogwash, whatever you'll know him as. Buster Gonards, I'll just say that. That's what I know him as well. It's a horizontal axis top loader, or slimline top loader as we call it in the UK. I think they call that in probably other parts of Europe as well. This is a machine that no one really knew about, although I think there might have been a few who did know. But like, I got this back at the end of March. In fact, the day I filmed the first wash and dry of that dreadful Siemens IQ300 washer dryer I had, Service Slimline, Phil, actually came to drop the machine off. And that's what I think I first hinted at. So this came all the way from Grantham down to here. This is I think it's 1994 we've put this to. It's a Zanussi Jet System XL1250 model TJS1397W. It has a jet system in it. It's basically the slimline top loader version of that washer dryer that he's got set. Obviously this is not a washer dryer. I have always had a love for slimline top loaders, mainly because, if you look at them, they're very easy to store. This has been in my unsays cupboard, and it will live happily outside but be easy to store. I've got everything set up. This is the 9530 is actually still plumbed in. But what I've done is I've done this with an expandable hose. Yes, this is a hose that doesn't kink, so even like that it will still fill. It can fill from the tap, and I can just drag this machine in if I ever want to use a video. Now, obviously the problem with slimline top loaders is that you can't see inside them. The only way I can is by bypassing the lid switch, and then I can put. I've made up a lid that I can put over this. But yes, you press this way, you depress that. This is the drawer. Pre-wash, main wash, and then your conditioner / bleach. Probably, I think they blanked that out. Probably something else was on that in the previous or another model. And then you normally close it down and it fills that way. But for me, we'll just be putting the powder in the drum or on top of here, and then the same with the conditioner. Now, I've made a modification to this. This had a rotating programmer. Well, not programmer. If you ever opened up some front loader washing machines like the Hoover 6 and whatnot, they have a rotating disc that diverts the water to the correct compartment. Unfortunately, if you had seen Dorian's video though, it meant that it fired the water up against this panel here and shot it over. Now, unlike other slimline top loaders, this has the seal at the top. There are, like, say, Whirlpool, or I think some of the older Zanussi's had the seal around here, which meant all I would have needed to do is just put a plastic, like, lid over that to see that. So, unfortunately, I have to be sort of close to the machine. Not that I'd want to miss it anyway, but this is all you're going to be seeing from the machine. It's just that. But I plan to get more of these type of machines. I just can never find any vintage ones. Philips did a version, the spin drain one, but I do like the Haju and Ergomat ones and the AG Levermat ones that are about that tall, and they'd jump about when they were on spin from the 80s as well. So what I've done, because I will never be using this with the lid closed, it's one of my rules about slimline top loaders, one of my many rules I have about machines, that it will never be used without that. So, I just realised the drum's offset here as well. There's more room that side, and it's probably because they have the jet system or something that side. So what I did, remove that disc, and I just attached these pipes onto there. It means the water is aimed down into the drum rather than onto here, so we don't have to worry too much, because I'm going to show you what I use. So I made this. It's a container lid. I cut that with a Dremel and sanded it down, and I've put some draft excluder / weatherproof sealing around it. And what this does, it will sit like that on top of the machine. Protects the lid switch from any water. Then I may just have to now and again hold this down. I'll have a towel across there to stop any water coming off there. Because unfortunately this model, well, not unfortunately, this model does spin rinses. So during the rinse it spins full of water that can push against here. As well as the first burst of the intermediate spins being where most water is extracted. But yeah, that'll just be a towel on it to weigh it down. I have got a towel wash to do, is the first wash in here. So yeah, I think these were Purcell, these machines. So I can't use the Aero, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic thing to have. It'll be good for doing small loads, and if I ever want to just drag that in as a temporary machine to film. But it'll just be now and again between having no machines to film, I'll throw this in, and I'll just do some washing. We've got some good variety of programs here, as you can see. But we're going to be doing program B, White's 95 of those towels. And it has a 1250 RPM spin, so that's pretty fast, almost as fast as the Miele. So if you remember his washer dryer, it'll work exactly the same way. So unfortunately, yeah, that won't be on there, but I just have to push that down. This is here to protect the end of the edge of the machine, and then whatnot. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to cut that. I like keeping that bit of extra ledge, just something to hold on to. Right, we'll get loading. Tripod is going to have to be at a higher angle for this. So, Zanussi recommend aerial and Lenore. I now have a vintage machine to use my aerial in. Perfect. Open her up. Mum with the food. So I've got one colour on sheet in there. We'll get loading her up. So this one you drop it all in. It's essentially, these are essentially front loaders made into tops, because it tumbles like a front loader. I think this is a 4.5 kilogram load, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really know too much about these. Be careful you don't lose anything to them. So yes, I had a... That's it, and one last little towel in there. Perfect. Right. Mum singing Duran Duran. Oh, I love the smell of aerial. It's so expensive, but so it's not being done with a pre-wash because the towels aren't that dirty, so I'm just going straight into a main wash. I'll measure out in this because aerial does get sudsy, so I have to be careful. 45 and 95 millilitres, but we'll add a little more for water hardness. 45 millilitres, so you need about 120 for that, I'd say. Because you need to compensate for water hardness, there you go. So what I just do is actually just pour it on top of the machine like that. And get the lid ready. So it won't physically start until you actually it gets the interlock. So turn the dial around all the way around to program B. Spin speed, of course, maximum 1250 RPM. Don't want to use heavy salt. I'm going to use rinse hold plus. Yeah, because we want to. Actually, no. I'll use a quick wash on this one. You can speed it up a bit with that. Actually, no. Do I want quick wash? No, I don't. We'll leave it off without that. Alright. Now that's the fun of it. So it's switched on at the mains. I haven't hit the on button yet. So now I've got to trip the lid. So a small screwdriver might do that. That one's too. Here we are. I think it's left or something. Let's get the lid ready. And make sure the water's running, of course. So much preparation for this. There you are. It's filling with hot water now. Good. It doesn't fully. That will get a bit steamed up, so I'll just remove it now and again. I can always push it down. See? It's warming up a bit. You can hear the hot water pipes upstairs clanging. So it jets it down there rather than onto this lid, meaning it doesn't spray it over the machine. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I quite like these machines. They are. It has an FHP motor as well. What distributing? It's getting a bit steep. See, it's throwing all the water on top there. Might cut a hole in there. So if it gets a bit steamed up, I will just pull the lid off. Yeah, see it's spraying on there now, that's why I need to hold that, so. But I have that there to let some air out as well if it has to. It's quite a quiet machine though, it's not actually, the motor's not too loud on this. I'll remove the dispenser from this. I won't be needing that. Yeah. What?
I thought it was plain.
No, it's this. That's how hot we're getting in there. It's kind of jetting it up there a little bit. Water's off. If you hear that noise now, that's the jet system pump working on this. There we are. That smells good, that aerial. Not so good. The only real problem is still trying to spray it though. The dial has now clicked on to around to program D. Near to there, so we're now heating. I've now put a towel here, as you see. Now made us some sort of hole. I will make that bigger for that, so that we can now put the lid on the machine and have that on there. We can actually now take this off. Make it very steamy, that is. But at that, decided to move over. Normally I've designed to aim it downwards. Might try and put maybe a bit of a weight on the end of that thing. No, I wouldn't ever touch the drum, but I might need to throw a bit of water on that. Something. That's hard. That's some use. Get a bit of that air. It's just a tiny bit of aerial stuck on the edge of the drum there. You don't want that sitting there. That hard causes all kinds of problems. That's it. Then this machine's finally on there. Finally got one. The last thing on top of the film was like, I don't even know. The jet system loves to make this loud rumbling noise. I don't know if it's when there's no water in it or something. That is steaming. Have a little peek, shall we? Just, I don't know if water does. I remember doing this before. This kitchen's going to smell so good with all that. It's over 62 degrees on the drum. 63. It loses the temperature very quickly though, as you see. Yeah. We've heated to 95 degrees Celsius. Watch this. Look at all that steam coming off that. If I put the lid on that, it will turn that thing soft. But the jet system is still making some noise. I remember it doing this at door ends as well. Really giving that a good watch though. Got it ready for when it will call for the cool down, so yeah. The next clip will be either a cool down or drain. I don't know if it does a cool down actually. Yeah. Lovely. Might have to open a window in a minute here. I'll put this over the watch, right? I'll put this lid over. Look how quickly that'll steam up. Look. Real quick. And that turns really soft. It's the appliance of science. Couldn't resist. The appliance of science. That'll be my thumbnail. I don't know if people know what it is. Right, clicked onto a drain. This will be the first intermediate spin now. We'll have to hold this lid down now because it will get a bit. I'll open this tap for the cold water. Very sudsy. Oops. Kind of threw some up over the side, it did. Chucked a bit over the side. Going to do it again. Oh, managed to save that one. Look at that. Very sudsy. Very sudsy. That's aerial for you. I always thought this did a cooldown though, that's the thing. Oh, quick, let's put that back on. That's unbalanced. Is that the sudslock? Is that suds protection kicking in? Whipped cream. Smells great though. See a bit better than now. You ready? Here we go. That's not so bad now. I think that's 650 to 850. 1,000. Bad. I don't know if these do spin fills, I can't remember if they do. I might have to treat it with some rain next to it. God, that is really hot. So that's a spinning light. Look how well that cleared that though. Very impressive. That's good for a first intermediate spin being 1,000. There's 100 foot of hose on the floor here, isn't it? Leave that on there now. Long duration too. I can't remember if this does a spin fill, I think it does. There's an air out there. You ready? I can't remember if it does or not. That's full power, that cold water. I have to hold this because it will do a spin rinse and it will throw water up against the whole thing. Right, so hold that down. Way. Oh, it shouldn't be jetting it right across there. Oh. But that's doing it. It's jetting it straight onto that, I know. And that's the jet system. I mean, theoretically, being cold water, it should be jetting that downwards. Spray all over the bloody floor, it did. So I'm glad I put that secondary one there. Thing is, I can't use a glass perspex because there's danger of that flying off the machine if it jumps about or anything. The thing is, obviously I don't ever turn the cold water pressure down, so I'd rather the machine just fill quicker. And that's doing well, so I'll hold the stand. But this might be a problem, I might not be able to keep really using this machine here. If I get to show you it. Like, keep the pressure down on that bit, and I want to try and get that to drain. Thing is, it's probably going to do it again. Yeah, I'll have to try and weigh those hoses down with something, maybe tie something heavy to it that I know won't come off. I've got like 3 more rinses to do this. The thing is, because those hoses have been exposed to heat, they've become soft. But once the machine cools down, maybe, then it will be a bit of a different story. It's the spin rinse. Throw that all over the floor. And another one, I think. Yeah, that was alright. It really does help rinse. So a new approach, I've put pallet wrap over this, although it will get a bit steamed up. Right, intermediate spin, all I need to do is just hold that towel there, but there's double layering there. It'll clear this as it spins. The only thing is I have to peel that back to put the conditioner in. Watch this. That was very unbalanced. It's far better though. I've seen people do videos of top loaders spinning and it's had cling film on there anyway. Pretty much. Because most of it gets trapped there and then washes itself back into the drum. That went to jump, that did. Jumpy that one was. Hopefully the final spin that we don't need to see how we go. Ready? Another burst. Nice. Far better because any water is getting caught up there. That looks weird. It's the air it's creating there, yeah. And this towel's a bit wet, so there's a bit of weight to that now. Yeah, far better. I think the next one will go up. So although you'll get a lot of noise from this, it's a better option. It spins the water thrown that way, not this way, so we're safer on that. Here we go. rain. That's why it's running like crazy, that is. That though, 1,000 marker, that's that. We'll just do that next time. Far better. I underestimated cling film, well, I don't know. You hear how dry the load gets at the spin, fucking long. Slows down how much it goes. If you're wondering what I called this machine, I called her Sadie. I'll explain in a bit why. Open the cold water. You can still see in as well. Right, rinse. I'll just hold that there. Oh no. That jetted that right into that's it. There you are. Brings the load. Doing that. So it waits to fill. Oh, what a bloody mess it's made on the floor. Right, on to the final intermediate spin now. Got to hold this again and make sure that doesn't come off. Yeah, I don't know we'll really be using this again. It's just that first burst or two it's got to get past. It didn't do a spin rinse on that one. Also with other loads it'd be a little less dramatic, it's only because it's towels. Loads of water coming off that though. That's about 450 for the first burst. First two bursts it does. what that is. It's part of the thing we're going on. I'm not going to try and get it out though. I've got to press the hoses down now, I do. I think it should be safe to leave it with this now. Yeah, so it's $6.50 for that next one. Very shaky. Closer that way. Right, the next one's the ramp up. I've got to be prepared for when it essentially fills for the final rinse. And yeah, I'm going to need a shorter hose for this. At least I managed to get a cycle out though. Can't wait for the final spin though. $4.50. No, it's not for $6.50, that's for $8.50. And $1,000. Really vibrating those, yeah. Look there. It's almost on G now. That's conditioner or freshener. I do like how long the intermediate spins are though. Definitely very sudsy, that aerial. Hold that hose down there while that fills. That'll be the final rinse. So I'm going to get some Lenore Pink Blossom ready. A full cap of that. I won't put it in yet. Just keep it there inside. That's got to be aimed downwards. Go, call it. I'll spray it there, get no spray from it all. It's good because it really doesn't have anything on the seal. Fantastic machine though. And while it's filling, conditioner in there. water there just to rinse it off the ledge. I'll still hold it because you know it might still require topping up. That's it. Conditioner's in there. We do a spin rinse. This spin rinse only gets about 250, it does. It's good. Spin rinse with conditioner in there, that's really good. You rinse really well in towels. Again. Oh. Another one. Ooh. Very unbalanced that was. Alright, final spin, 1250 RPM. 1250 RPM. Risking having the 9.5 draw open it. Keep the hose in there. Letting some of the water out from the... Right, here's that first burst, 450. That's really unbalanced, that sounds. Might not be fine. Let's soften the bubbles in that one. If I open this, listen, you'll hear the... I'm draining the water out of the hoses. Well, I like the tumbles in between it, that'll help like stop creasing everything. I'll just spin 650 RPM burst. I think there's a series of bursts, yeah, and then goes up. Same thing here with the cord snap, I think. Yeah, open that up. Right. Now put the hose away. The actual garden hose can go outside. That's done with. Done with the huge mess here. Right, here we go. Let's enjoy this ramping up. About 850. calms down then. And of course, it has got a variable spin. Back up. I don't want to compromise the spin too much. Stable as well. Drying itself out as well. pull this back now. There'll be more. There we go. Just get the front of the machine wiped down. Oh, probably do an anti-tangle now, I think. You can see where the towels are stuck to the side. But yeah, fortunately I think this is a very messy machine to use in this kitchen. Oh. That's all it did. Well, obviously to close the lid and lock it, you'd have to physically shut the lid, but that'll re-lock it again. So I'm also going to switch the power off, just to be extra safe. That's weird. I don't think it did much of an anti-tangle last time. Should we see what the results are? Not very creased at all, and they are. Oh wow! Oh, that's the best combination I've ever used. They are really dry. Ah, we can see who the culprit was in leaking colour in the wash. It was the blue towel. Wow. Not very creased at all. That's good. That towel was already dye blue before, so don't worry if it looks that way. These are mainly all my towels, they were. You know what? That actually has really dried that well. So that's the drum inside. You got one lifter there, and there's another one here, and another one there. That's the only big one. The others are the standard Electrolux style ones. Hey guys, this is the new member to my collection. We've called her Sadie. Because S for slimline, but also I don't know who it's from, but there's real Slim Shady, so I thought Slim Shady, Slim Sadie. And Sadie's quite a nice name for a 90s girl. A bit of a troublemaker like this one. Yeah. Could say some other things, but I don't want to be demonetized. Yeah, so I don't know, obviously I don't know here if I can do any more videos. It's a bit of a problem with this, it is, with the amount of water that was going everywhere and whatnot, so I really don't know. But she's here in the collection. Maybe one day I could, I don't know, drive to Chris's with her or something, or I don't know, not drive to Chris's, I'd probably just use the machine, maybe put some towels down on the floor. We'll see. She's going to go and store it outside now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow. Thank you for watching The Appliance of Science.